Hi, it's Teddy from Mudflap. Today, we're going to talk about cost per mile, breaking down what it is, why it matters, and a straightforward way to calculate it. Yes, rate per mile is super important, but it only covers how much money is coming into your business. To figure out your profit, you can't ignore how much you're spending. So, cost per mile looks at your operating expenses, and once you understand how much it costs to run each of your trucks, you'll know which loads are actually profitable to book. When you are guessing about your operating costs, you can finally stop wasting time on underpaying loads. So let's talk about how to calculate your cost per mile. To make it easy, we created a free spreadsheet template you can use to plug in your own numbers. Grab the link to that free download in the video description below and follow along. You'll need to know two things to calculate your cost per mile: your fixed costs and your variable costs. We're going to start with your fixed costs. These are the expenses you pay every month that stay the same no matter how many miles you run. For example, your truck payment, trailer payment, insurance, ELD, permits and licensing, and load board subscriptions. Insert your numbers into the monthly cost column for every fixed cost you have. If you're using our calculator, you can just remove the rows of expenses you don't have or leave them at zero and add in rows for any of your expenses that aren't already in the sheet. Next, enter your variable costs. These are the expenses that do change depending on how much you drive. We're talking fuel, maintenance and repairs, tires, driver wages, tolls, truck washes. Again, you can add rows for any additional expenses and leave any expenses you don't have at $0. Once you enter all of your fixed and variable expenses, the spreadsheet will add up your monthly total cost. In our example, the total cost comes to $20,215 per month. Next, enter your mileage. For our example, let's say you drive an average of 9,000 miles per month. Once all of this information is in, you'll finally be able to see your cost per mile. In this example, the total monthly cost of $20,215 divided by a total monthly mileage of 9,000 miles equals a $2.25 cost per mile. So now you know your cost per mile is $2.25. But why is that number so important? For our example, every load you book needs to pay at least $2.25 per mile just to cover your costs. Anything above that amount is profit. You can figure out your profit by taking your gross rate per mile, then subtracting your cost per mile. So knowing your cost per mile is so important because it helps you understand which rates you need to book to make a profit. Make sure to grab your free download of our cost per mile calculator at the link in the video description. We hope this cost per mile breakdown helps you take control of your profits and run your business without the guesswork. We're working on creating more videos for carriers, so comment if there's a topic you'd like to see Mudflap cover. See you soon.